time to talk about Manscaped. And Deke, they got new heat for us today, Deke.
Really?
Deke, they got something new for the people out here, for the culture.
No way.
Uh-oh. Can I, is it okay? Can I get a sec?
Tell me more.
Whoa, Deke. There comes a time in everyone's life where you got to wash your hair.
Yeah.
You need shampoo.
I'd say so.
But you might need some conditioner as well. I mean, I know you got long, flowing locks. I got my hair as well.
Need to keep the hair hydrated.
Manscaped, bro. We just dropped it. 2-in-1. Shampoo and conditioner. I mean, it's like, shampoo, conditioner. This is awesome. But wait, there's more.
No way.
Bruh, you can't just wash your hair, right? You can't just shampoo and condition your hair. What about the rest of your body? You know what I mean? What about your
Gotta
private
keep that
parts? You might want to wash your legs. You might be a feet washer. You might want to wash your feet when you're in the shower. They got body wash now. We got Manscaped body wash, ladies and gentlemen. What are we talking about? So your hair can be shampooed and conditioned. Your body can be properly washed, smelling like how it needs to smell.
Wait, there's one more thing?
It's one more. It's
Damn,
one more,
dude.
Deke. Come on, man. You know how they do. When Manscaped does it, they do it right.
Right.
They're refined now. They even got cologne, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's what Manscaped is on. That's what they are doing. And when you make your purchase, if you use the promo code MOATS, you will receive 20% off plus free shipping, man. Like I said, awesome situation, awesome scenario. But this is what Manscaped is doing. This is what the people needed. You need body wash. You need your hair smelling fresh. And they got you covered, baby. So take it from us experts up here and use that promo code. Shout out to Manscaped, your delicate twins, and your friends will thank you.
C. Dez, 86. 2 to 3 years of bad calls against us, so I'm not tripping over one game of favoritism. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Browns refs were god-awful last week, and we pulled out the dub. And Bears were up. I mean, they were up. So as much as we want to talk about bad calls and everything,
say they were up.
They were up a point.
The lead with a minute and something left in the game, bro.
So,
like what?
Huh?
You say like they would lead the whole game? Like, bro, they got the lead with a minute and 30 left in the game, bro.
I know. So
the
you had your
damage
chance.
was technically already done.
You had your chance.
But the damage was technically already done, though. That's all I'm saying.
What do you mean?
With some of the calls that people are referring to.
Yeah, but if we're talking about
the difference, though, like you can't bring up they had their chance. They were up with a minute left in the game, bro.
Well, if we're talking about the Marsh one, all we got was a field goal out of that.
One, but you could talk about the touchdown one. They got called back.
Right.
That was a bad call.
Who knows how the game flow gets a little different, though. I'm being serious because maybe we're less conservative on some of our calls in the second half.
The only reason I'm saying that is when you keep bringing up they had their chance. It's not the same. There's not apples to apples right there. That's all. I get what you're trying to do, though. I get it, but the context is a little flawed. That's all, man.
Listen, I would still be upset with the refs if that happened to us, but at the end of the day, if you're up,
I'm not upset with the refs though. No,
I would still I'm saying if I'm the Bears, if I'm a Bears fan, I would still be pissed off about the refs. But then I do think it's fair to say, like, listen, we were up a point with a minute 30 left. We need to make a stop. We just need to make a stop.
As long as it fits your narrative today, it's cool.
I'd be more pissed off about the refs. I'm sure I would be.
Narrative because Seven had a good game. He provided the game-winning drive, so I know that's why you keep bringing it up. I get that.
Oh, bro,
but in a non-biased way, is not like that, bro.
Wait, what are you talking about? The Bears refs or just the Steelers even having that game that close? Because
no.
That's on Ray.
I'm talking about the Bears in the sense of when we bring up the flags, you can't minimize what they had by simply saying you had a lead with a minute left in the game. Because for them, they can make the case, well, this game probably would have went drastically different if you don't have some of these blown calls. If we do get that touchdown at that time in the game, that changes the outlook of the game. But we never got that opportunity. So you bringing up us getting the lead with a minute, we're saying that, hey, we had to overcome all of this just to get to that point. That's all. Context-wise, it's drastically different.
I don't know, though, because then
it is, though.
If we're doing that, then I think our calls are less conservative throughout the second half of the game if it's a closer game. Because, I mean, our offense was looking kind of good in the first half, moving the ball.
Okay.
That's what I thought. And I thought we got conservative, which, no problem.
Let's get into the recap.
I thought that was the game flow.
Let's get into the recap.
There was no reason to take big risks because I thought we were dominating them.
I could dig that. But this is my question. If you felt like we were dominating them, why wouldn't you continue to put the foot on the pedal, though?
I don't know. I'm not saying I liked it.
Yeah.
I think we could have been a little bit more.
And
what do I want to say?
Did you feel like
Less
they were
conservative.
dominating in the second half as well? Because I personally didn't. Yeah.
Oh no. I thought the Bears actually. I want to give them a little bit credit because I don't know if their offense switched a little bit, but Justin Fields was making some nice throws, and they were able to move the ball. Like I actually thought they made some good plays as opposed to our defense just shitting the bed at points outside of like those last couple drives. And then offense, we kind of got stale. It kind of sucks not to be able to get 3rd and 1s when just running the ball to keep drives going. So I don't think we were expecting that because we were able to do it in the Browns game last week. But looking back, hindsight, it's like, maybe we should have taken a couple more shots, or maybe we should have spread it out a little bit more. But 3rd and 1s, you just hope to hand the ball off to Najee Harris and keep drives going. So the offensive line, I thought, just wasn't right in the running game. There wasn't too many holes outside of some of the plays in the first half.
So I thought first half, man, we were a lot more versatile with our attack offensively. Not just doing the same stale, just gonna turn around handed to Najee every time. We saw the jet sweeps getting mixed in there. Some of the passes, the Pat Fryer move, man. I thought just as a whole, we looked multifaceted. We looked like a legit offense. And I thought that's why we were producing the way we did. Second half came out, and not just were they conservative, but I also felt like at times it was playing not to lose, which to me, they were not like, I never thought the game was to a point where they could play like that. To me, I just never thought it got to that point because every time especially like early in the game, I thought they had a chance. But to me, we never could silence that Bears offense. Even when they weren't even hot at the time, they were still finding ways to make plays. Justin Fields doing it with his legs. Then he was very decisive in terms of his throwing. Like, that was surprising because typically up until this game, he hadn't looked like that. He didn't look as decisive throwing. He didn't look as decisive when he would go to run the ball. But this game, man, you could see him progressing throughout it. And that's why for me, I just kept saying, like, man, we need to pick it up a little bit in the second half. We definitely needed to. And then from there, when we talk about our defense, even though at times they seemed dominant, it still felt like they disappeared on us a little while, man.
It's the same thing as the Broncos game. I thought
it was frustrating. I'm like, both sides of our ball, even special teams, at times all three phases.
Special teams was terrible.
But at times, all three phases, like they had moments of dominance. Like, yo, this is clear. This is what it should look like. And then they would flip it, and it would look like, yo, did y'all switch jerseys? Because now I don't know who's the good team and who's the not so good team right here. That to me was like my takeaway from it, man. Glad they were finding a way to win. And I will say, in terms of some of the penalties, right? Because not all the penalties were egregious. Coaching goes into that, man. When you talk about a guy lining up off sides, that's different than you having a false start or you jumping off sides. You can't line up off sides. That's football 101. That's anything. I mean,
it even looked like there were some close calls they might have missed.
No, there definitely were, man. And that's the thing. It's like I can understand when these pastors might complain about, okay, man, this is holding. I get that. Okay, cool. But you can't line up off sides. Like, we're looking at the TV copy, and it's like, bro, you're clear as day. If you just look where your hand is, those are like the subtle things. Put your hand down first, and you always have your helmet behind your hand. If my hand is behind where the ball is and my helmet is behind my hand, I will never be off sides. So it's like everyone knows this. This is like what you learn day one college. So it's like to see guys doing it, and not just once, on multiple occasions. To me, that's a coaching thing. And that was one of the things where I was like, with Coach T, it was good to see that he had his group buttoned up in that standpoint. I mean, I think 3 penalties that were accepted on us. But as a whole, we played a lot cleaner, even though it wasn't perfect, way cleaner. And that was another good thing. And I was like, man, that's big on coaching right there. Even though, like we said, we had our issues, that's a coaching thing. And we saw how, it really helped us out right there.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this little drive breakdown here. Mm-hmm. They get a field goal coming out of half. Yeah. So it's 14-6. Mm-hmm. We get a touchdown right after that. Mm-hmm. It's 21-6. Yeah. But then this is kind of like the let up part. They score a touchdown right after that.
The field goal one. Is that the one where the penalty was?
That might have been.
That changes. I'm about to say
that might have been. It's saying saying a total of 104 yards because in the first half, I don't think they were anywhere close to scoring a touchdown. Their only points came in the field goal at the end of half. So I think that was the one because it's saying the total drive was 104 yards. So it was probably due to that penalty right there. So we answered with the touchdown, 21-6. But you're right. Like, as soon as that second half hit, it looks like our defense wasn't the same as what it was in the first half. And I do want to give some credit to the Bears. It looked like they switched things up, but at the same time, I don't know what the hell we were doing.
Well, and I also feel like the Bears front started to get after our O-line a lot more in that second half as well, creating a little bit more havoc and definitely winning the line of scrimmage.
Oh yeah,
that was, to me, man. You talk about the interior part. I mean, anybody that was going back and watching the game or have heard any of the commentary, they were big on your man 5'3" in the middle. You know. At times, it wasn't his best performance, and then obviously Dan Moore was another guy. But to me, that was the other part. It was like them not winning the line of scrimmage was hurting Najee as well, because Najee in the first half, man, he was getting 2-3 yards where he was getting hit, and now he's able to make a move, gash him a little bit. That second half, man, he had zero movement up front to even get a chance to get going. And I thought that also hurt the run game and kind of forced us to play that predictable style ball.
Yeah. So with that 21-6, I just felt like we had the game in hand. So I could see why the conservative play calls were happening. I'm not thrilled about it because I'd rather put the foot on the gas, close out the game. But then we get that defensive stop late in the fourth, or it was kind of middle of the fourth quarter. I think there was like 6-7 minutes left. Yeah. We're up 10. They're punting to us. It's like, all right, bro, this game's about over. We're gonna get this. Worst case, we run out the clock 3 to 4 minutes and we punt it. We're up 10. Defense is going to make some stops. They're going to be, trying to force some passes, try to make some big plays here. But Ray fumbles. They get a free 7 points. Like that was huge. I felt the same way as the Browns game. Like I actually felt like we had this game more in hand. But that whole, it's part of the football. It's part of football. It's something we got to talk about. But it's one of those things you can't count on happening week in and week out if you're the opposing team. Like the Bears aren't. They're down 10. Oh, but man, Ray's going to fumble this, and we're going to run it in for 7.
And when was the fumble by their guy on special teams as well? Because that was before.
I think it was before. So that that was a gift to us too. I'm not going to lie about that. Yeah, we didn't score an automatic 7 points on it. Though it was a freebie.
I still just feel like it's good special teams play. You know what I mean? Both sides. I felt like that was your boy. Yeah, that was your boy, man. So yeah, that was my thing. I did like both of those plays, but. Once again, when we're talking coaching though as a whole, you saw like one was a lot more impactful than the other one. We talk about as a return, man, your first job is to secure the ball, get possession of it. Then from there, you get your yardage and so forth. But you got to have possession, man. You got to keep that. And as we saw, man, that changed the outlook of the game. It definitely flipped the momentum at that part as well, man. And obviously you see why people are losing it a little bit on Ray today.
Sure.
Yeah.
That is something to bring up, dude. He has been reliable, but hasn't he had some ball security issues these last couple games?
Yeah.
He hasn't lost the fumble.
Yeah. And that was a part of his situation a little bit in Buffalo as well, some of the ball security stuff.
We haven't seen it up to this point. I thought he's been pretty much money. I mentioned a few times on the podcast, every time he gets the punt, he catches it, gets 10, 15 yards. We don't have to worry about it. But now I'm a little bit concerned. I don't know what type of change we would make. We throwing Deontay back there? I don't know about that.
I'm just scared because of that. You know how he gets.
That might jack up his little receiving streak he's going on.
Yeah,
because he's doing pretty good.
It's like he's in a good place right now. Just keep him where he's at. Less off his plate. He's good to go. I don't want him to be thinking about, okay, am I under the ball? My elbows tight. All right, it was in the framework because we know how he get a little loose with it. Yeah. Electric once he gets the ball, but it's too much of a heart, going on while he's trying to catch it. So yeah.
My overall takeaway, I just felt like we were the better team the whole game.
Yes. Yeah.
The fumble was the big thing that got the game close, got it to the nail biter, got it to where we might actually lose this game. We're down 1 with a minute 30. That's what I thought it was more than anything else, because there were some lapses. We talk about the offense getting conservative, the defense having their lapses, but I still think we win that game double digits, worst case like a touchdown. But it feels like we won. It's not like the Broncos scenario where it's coming down to the wire if it wasn't for that fumble punt. So I feel good about it, and I also feel good that we did get down a point, and we were able to come back.
Yeah.
Not the best way to go about it. It's not how you want to write it up, but hey, it's cool to see a gritty win.
Nah, man, every win is a good win.
Right, it's better to see a win than a loss. Like, what else do you want to see?
You're never gonna hear me say I feel bad about us winning. Like, what? We gonna feel good about losing next? Nah, heck no, man. So I definitely, man. We like the win was mandatory. We had to get that though, and it was good, regardless of how it played out. Find a way. As long as you score one more point, the other team, it could be the same next week against Detroit. As long as we score one more point and we're sitting at 6-3, it really doesn't matter. I mean, we know this team has flaws. We know it's going to continue to have flaws. And as long as they're getting out of these stadiums as best they can, man, you just got to roll with it.
But my point, the great thing about it is all these other teams have flaws right now.
Absolutely.
All these other teams, especially in the AFC, man.
Yeah, it's wide open.
Ravens
still, man.
are skating by right now.